Okay. It is April 1st, a little bit of a breezy but very warm April 1st, 2016, and we're in the latter half of the Blackfoot moon Sa'aki-sum, the duck moon. And there's a few really cool things that happen this time of year, this lunar cycle. One, of course, Sa'aki-sum, the duck moon, means that there are waterfowl that are mating and starting to cache and incubate eggs. So I'm going to take you out to the big river island and I'm going to show you some goose egg caches. Also this time of year, the goose, they really start caching their eggs in the full moon. We're about a week after the full moon, so we might find some active nests. We'll still probably find some caches, but the other thing I want to look at this point is the reptiles. We should have turtles and rattlesnakes waking up out here, and so I'm going to check that out and I'll show you what we find. So my first stop is the old driftwood from the boardwalk at North Pond. This is a really good place to observe turtles, painted turtles. We have two species of turtle in this region. We have a snapping turtle and a painted turtle. And here at Spopikami, it's the painted turtles. I'm not seeing any of them yet. They may or may not be out at this end of the pond. And I don't think I'm going to go over to the south end of the pond, which is really the better end to see them at. Because my primary interest is to get to the rattlesnakes, who I know are going to be out today. It's just that day. That day comes and it's here. So I'm going to head over out here on this pontoon, on this little walkway, see if we can find any turtles. If not, I'm going to go up onto the river and go to the big river island to show you the egg caches of the geese, and then on to the snakes. Yeah, lo and behold, there are some turtles basking out here on the logs. They're going to be really difficult to see from this distance with this camera, but trust me, they're there. I'll try to cut the frame a little closer. Won't be very clear, but perhaps you'll be able to see that there are turtles here on the logs basking. So the name Spopi, after which I call this water Spopikami. The name Spopi means sits on top, and that's because of what these turtles do. These painted turtles sit up on top of the logs and such and bask. Alright, so saw the turtles. Now we're gonna head out onto the big river island. Out this way, and we're gonna check out what's happening with the geese, with their eggs. I know they're caching out here. I brought a school group out just the other day to look at some of the egg caches. Some of them might be incubating by now. They start caching, like I said, on the full moon after the equinox, aka Easter. And they continue until they got a full clutch, and then they incubate. So we'll see what's happening today. Okay, so here we have a very classic Canada goose egg cache, along with defending gander, who's coming up to meet me. You can see here there's kind of a circle of leaves and twigs and a few feathers probably from an older nest. This couple here is getting ready. Soon they're going to be incubating this cache. Let's look at what they've got. Wow, they got 4 eggs. That's beautiful. So we'll cover it back up, and they're gonna come check on it as soon as I'm gone. Make sure it's hidden up to par for their standards. Yeah, they obviously get very defensive of their egg caches, and for good reason. That hiss that you hear the gander making there, that hissing sound is the traditional Blackfoot war cry. If you're going to be killed by an old-time Blackfoot warrior, that hiss is what you're going to hear as he's closing in on you. That was learned from the geese. But yeah, they get very defensive. He's pretty much, at this point, he's about 2 meters from me, and he's pretty much putting his life at stake for these eggs, right? So they're very important to him. Easter is not about the goddess of Egypt, Easter. It's not about fertility. It's not about any of these things. It's about eggs. It's about the end of starvation, of winter. And the white rabbit, the Easter bunny, is the full moon after the equinox. That's when the eggs start getting laid. So it's egg collecting time, and it's going to be egg collecting time for a while now. For the geese, we just have this brief window of a couple of weeks. After that, we'll see the mallards, the teals, redheads, eventually the coots. It's a whole sequence of waterfowl that have their eggs, and so in the old days, everyone was tuned in. Okay, so we've seen painted turtles. We've seen Canada geese caching their eggs and defending those egg caches. Now on to my favorite part of the day, the re-emergence of the prairie rattlesnake. Okay, so there was just 2 snakes out at the hibernacula, and there are many more snakes in there, I know. So in the days to come, there's going to be a much greater emergence, but at least we have the first couple, and to me that's very exciting. To me that's like the start of my season, always seeing the first snakes of the season. I'm very happy to know that they've survived, and to know that we're still coexisting together. We're still at least trying in this dance. What was very interesting was between those 2 snakes, I'm judging that there was one that was female and one that was male, and I'm basing that on the coloration of the snakes. I was tipped off last summer by Sherry Monk, who is one of the followers of the Rattlesnakes of Lethbridge page, but she's very into snakes, and she learned this from another herpetologist who has conjectured that the female snakes are darker in coloration and the male snakes are lighter. And when I went over after I met with Sherry last year, I took her around and we visited some snakes. I looked at my photo database, and really what she told me matched up with my photos. The snakes that looked, based on the tail, like females, were much darker, and the snakes that were kind of a yellowish green color were males. Of course, all of them have a little bit of a green tinge. That's why they're called Crotalus viridis, the green rattlesnake. The prairie rattlesnake is called the green rattlesnake. But you can definitely tell the male from the female, and in fact last summer I did get a picture of a male and female mating, and sure enough the male is the yellow one and the female is the dark one. So today at the den we saw both a male and a female have emerged, and that's important information to know that both sexes emerge at the same time. So that's just a little learning tidbit that I had today, but very cool to see the snakes out, the turtles out, the geese caching their eggs, getting ready to sit their nests. This is an exciting time of year. We are heading into the summer very soon. We got one more winter lunar cycle, Matsi Kapisaki, the frog moon. But from here on out, it's all gravy. From here on out, it's just beauty. Beauty's coming. All the birds are going to be coming back. All the plants are going to be coming back. Erupting from the grounds. It's going to be nice. I'm looking forward to the season and sharing it with you too.